You're watching ESPN's Holiday Hoops, presented by K Jewelers. And welcome once again to Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. It is a beautiful Christmas morning in Honolulu, Hawaii, and we continue our final day of the tournament with Charleston taking on Charlotte. Aloha and mele kalikimaka. Merry Christmas to all of you. Next to Corey Williams, I'm Kanoa Leahy. And Corey, these two teams are 1-1 coming into this game. It's a battle for 5th place. But going back to the continent, having won 2 games this week in Honolulu, that would feel a lot better.
Makes a world of difference. You come over here, your coaches want to see their teams do some things well. You definitely want to get on the plane on a high note, headed back to the mainland.
Well, one guy who has been certainly playing at a high note is Dewilk Tavares for Charleston. He joined a list of guys who dropped 30 in this tournament, doing so on day 2.
He was a one-man wrecking crew. You see that 7 made 3-pointers, absolutely unconscious once he got it going. His teammates kept feeding him, and he kept drilling shots. An amazing performance.
Now Nick Graves, another guy who dropped a 30-burger. He went for 31 on day 2.
Inspired offense from this guard, electric play, penetration, perimeter shooting, hot hand, and you wonder, can these guys continue to do what they did a couple of days ago? Graves, unstoppable. He will definitely be the focus of that defense for Charleston.
Graves averaging 17.6 points per game coming into this one. This is the second game of the day. We continue to move towards the championship showdown in the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic between Oregon State and Nebraska. First game went a little long, a lot of foul calls, a lot of whistles, and so here we go at an 11:18 a.m. local start time. We're playing basketball here in this battle for 5th. And it is Charleston controlling. Here is Ante Brzovic. Deep in the paint, couldn't hit the short jump hook, but got the ball back. They get it back to Brzovic on the other side. And this time going to his left hand, and he's able to finish over Dean Reber. And the ice has been broken here in the scoring column. Our starting lineups brought to you by Outrigger Resorts. Robert Braswell, the 4th. He is averaging 13 points per game, and a guy who has put in double figures on average here in the first 2 days of the Diamond Head Classic. Corner 3, that splashes down. And a good start for Jayshawn Thomas, a 30% three-point shooter. On the other side, Ante Brzovic, averaging 18 a game, was somewhat quiet in the opening day loss to Oregon State, but reached double figures, 14.6 rebounds, 5 assists in the win over Loyola on day 2.
Charleston a little careless with that ball. Boyd wasn't exactly in the front court when he got possession, so backcourt violation, ball goes back to Charlotte.
From straight on, it's Reber. He'll try a 3. That one rims out. Reber shooting 21% from out there. He's now 4 of 20 on the season, but he will attempt those 3s. A.J. Smith missing on the drive. Nick Graves, the pull-up, and that is good. He is just so smooth with it. Never seems like he's out of control.
He's a high-level thinker when he has the ball in his hand. He's always searching, looking, and thinking, what's the right play? And right there, it calls his own number on the pull-up.
Tavares somehow got it back, and then got it to his teammate, who got it up and in. A.J. Smith with the bucket.
Right there, Charlotte all complaining to the officials, wanting a call, and they should have been continuing to play defense.
49ers coming in 7-5 overall on the year. Charleston 9-3. Nice cut and a great find there. Graves getting it to Thomas. 7-4 early lead here for Charlotte.
You see the impact that Graves has on the game early on, already with a bucket and 2 assists.
Tavares a little long on that pull-up jumper. Thomas hanging in the air and finishing at the rim.
You You can't get beat out front that early. And if you do get beat, you got to have teammates that rotate over. That time, Tavares gets beat, and nobody rotates over.
Open look from the corner. This is Smith, and he drills it. These two teams looking awfully comfortable here offensively early. That one deflected off of Reber. Able to wrestle it back and finds underneath a cutting Nika Metskladishvili, 6'8", grad student from the nation of Georgia. Getting his 7th start of the season. How about that spin move by Brzovic? No hesitation, and was able to get to the baseline against Reber.
And you just wonder when Brzovic going to break out of that funk that he was in the first couple of games. He is a 20-point-per-game guy, and although he does end up getting decent numbers, he doesn't dominate the way that he did in some earlier games this season.
C.J. Fulton securing the rebound. Thought about the three, instead gets it to Tavares. That three ball is off the mark. As opposed to Murray State, who we saw in the early game here today, these two teams not interested in getting too deep into the shot clock. They're pulling the trigger.
Good opportunities for both teams. Penetrate kick, one-on-one. Everybody playing with a nice up-tempo rhythm.
Skip pass. Aaron Boyd puts it on the floor. Now Fulton going baseline. It's going to be an open look for Smith. Fulton the offensive rebound. Tavares lets it fly, gets fouled, and hits the jumper. So an and one from distance, 4-point opportunity coming up after the break.
Outstanding ball movement by the Cougars. Lights out by their lights out shooter. He's got a chance for a 4-point play when we get back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Hawaiian Airlines. Hawaii flies with us. The Hawaiian Islands. Plan your unforgettable journey at gohawaii.com. And by Outrigger Hotels and Resorts. Come be here. The tree display at Honolulu Hale, part of the holiday celebration tradition here in Honolulu. And we wish you a happy holidays, a Mele Kalikimaka, a Merry Christmas from the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. Oh yes, everybody is in the Christmas spirit, and it's 11:30 a.m. I don't think it's too early to enjoy an adult beverage. Do you, Corey?
I'm gonna leave you hanging on that one. My mom's watching. I'm gonna leave you hanging on that one. No comment on the pre-noon beverage. You're on your own.
A lot of Santa hats being donned here in the arena as well. And a good game early on here. This is the battle for 5th place. Charleston and Charlotte. A 12-11 score, and Daywilk Tavares looking to complete a 4-point play. Knocked down the three, got fouled by Nick Graves, and he does so. 2-point advantage here for the Cougars. Tavares had that 30-burger against Loyola on day 2, was 7 of 16 from the land of 3. He was 1 point off of his career high and was the 19th player in Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic history to score 30 in a game. There ended up being 2 more 30-point individual performances on day 2 after that. Nick Graves was one of them. Turnaround shot, and a tough one there by Giancarlo Rosado. Brzovic, he can shoot the 3. Elected not to take it there. Good closeout by Graves. Now in the left corner, Eustace Stonkus off the heel. Nice bounce pass underneath. And it results in a 3 try from the corner. That is Braswell.
has done a great job of making the extra pass. Good action, good ball movement from them early on.
As well, the most prolific three-point shooter on the squad for Charlotte coming in, leading the team in makes and takes. Good tap out by Elijah Jones and a reset three for Boyd off the heel. And this time Charlotte secures the long rebound and a foul on a collision at midcourt as Jayshawn Thomas hits the deck. That's going to go against Darren Boyd. That is his first. One team foul on either side. And Charlotte basketball. Charlotte lost to Hawaii on day one, 78-61. They were out-rebounded by the Rainbow Warriors, 37-21, held to just 39% from the field. But then they would win what was a double overtime thriller to close the day's action on day two against Murray State. The first double overtime game in Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic history. Here is Thomas for three. It was a 20-10 run at the end of regulation put on by Charlotte that forced the first overtime. And they were 11 from 12 from the free throw line in the two overtime periods. As Jones, the bank is open on a Christmas morning. How about that?
So bad it was good. When he let that go, it had no chance of going in, but ended up going off the glass. But you take those, you tell your teammates, that's what I meant to do.
Yeah, hey, it looks the same in the box score. Here's Rosado, resets, tries the three. He hit 2 threes in that double overtime game against Murray State. His first 2 made threes of the season. And Tavares gets his own miss and cleans it up.
That's just a defensive breakdown. Anytime a guy gets all the way to the rim unchallenged and then gets his own rebound while the other 5 guys are standing around, that's kind of stuff that gives coaches gray hairs.
Here's Isaiah Folks. A wild pirouette there in the lane, missed the shot. Berzovic, bullet pass down low. Jones trying to muscle it up, and he gets fouled. And they will say it's in the act, so he goes to the free throw line. Chris Mack, in his first season atop the Charleston program, was out of coaching for a couple of years after his departure from Louisville. He was the head coach there from 2018 to 2022. And was the head coach at Xavier, his alma mater, from 09 to 2018. Said the 2 years off before taking this job at College of Charleston helped to recalibrate things a little bit from his perspective in what is a very different environment, as we all now know, in college sports.
And sometimes that's an advantage when you've got a different perspective while things are changing. When you return to college basketball and the college basketball landscape, you've had a chance to observe it. You're not competing in it. And now he's right back in the thick of things with his squad ready to go.
We're going to have a foul on Adam Comer, who was freshly inserted into the game for Charleston. Aaron Fern is atop the Charlotte program. Second season now. Spent the previous 5 seasons as an assistant under Ron Sanchez, who left for Virginia. And so Fern was named the interim head coach, but the tag was removed in February of last season after a 15-8 start and a 9-2 start in the American Athletic Conference. And that's going to get us to a timeout here on the floor. 11:57 left to play. Battle for 5th here on a Christmas morning in Honolulu, Hawaii. Over there, averaging 4.8 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 25 games off the bench last season. And Isaiah Folks out of the timeout, hitting the free throw. That last foul going against Jole Kirkic, leading to the 2 buckets there from the line. 2-point separation here. Charleston on top. Under 12 minutes to play here. This is the second game of the day. We got 2 more coming, including the championship showdown. Oregon State and Nebraska. That's going to be a good one. Berzovic goes to the right hand. He can use either hands in that scenario.
He's one of those players, you let him get 2 crab dribbles and get to his sweet spot, you've got all kinds of problems because he's a great passer out of the post as well.
Rosado Athletic with that frame, gets it up top. Folks can't hit the three.
Folks kind of hesitated, put a little hitch in his jump shot.
Stonkus too strong off the glass. Here's Rosado. And we're going to have a whistle and a foul before what could have been a traveling violation. We saw a little shuffling of the feet. But there's going to be a foul against Eustace Stonkus.
You always get nervous when your big men start taking matters into their own hands, trying to create a little offense. A little contact before the foul. Before the travel, I should say.
Will Howard, Amy Bonner, Tada Poe, the officiating trio here for this ball game. This is Kylan Blackman missing from distance. Transfer from Coastal Carolina. Berzovic lost the handle, and Graves over there to take it away. He spins into the lane, wild shot. He ends up on the floor. And it's coming the other way. Tavares stepping into a three. In a while since Charlotte has made a field goal, almost 4 minutes as a matter of fact. Rosado doing a lot of dribbling here, and there it was. Another shuffling of the feet. This time results in the traveling violation and turnover.
You've seen him in the one-on-one. He wants to plant, create contact, and spin, but right there, shuffled his feet initially.
And so a straight scoring drought now of over 2 minutes ensuing for the 49ers. See if Charleston can take advantage here. Up 4, under 10 minutes to play in the first half. Underneath it's Berzovic, the pump fake, got the defender out of the way, and then finished with the easy two.
And that is the easiest look he's had in a while. Just a basic misdirection. They take the ball away and set a back screen for him.
8 points now for Berzovic. Between the legs pass there to Graves from Rosado. 2 seconds on the clock. Graves has to hoist. Strong defensive stand there by the Cougars.
Cougars starting to gel a little bit on both ends of the floor. You've seen the passing increase.
Tavares, the nice hesitation, but good help defense. And now numbers for Charlotte. Folks missing the runner, the follow-up, and a good cleanup job there by Rich Rolfe. Rolfe, who was a starter to start the season. Started the first 6 games, in fact, coming off the bench for now the 7th straight. Dump down, Berzovic finding a cutting A.J. Smith.
And you'll see that a lot from the Cougars. Berzovic with the ball, multiple cutters moving all around him. His choice as to what to do with the ball. Very gifted player.
There's Rosado, a lot of contact there. He goes down to the floor. And that's going to get us to a timeout with exactly 8 minutes left in this first frame. Charleston up on Charlotte by 6.
Family, food, fun, holidays. And then you go to the gym New Year's Eve and pretend it all didn't happen.
Yes, and you make promises that you usually decide not to keep by February.
I promise not to live like this again in 2025. I love it.
And then, of course, there's always the accompanying line, and this time, I mean it.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Rosado to the free throw line here out of the timeout. misses the first free throw. 74% shooter from the charity stripe. Missed 4 games prior to the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic with a knee injury. At 8 points, 3 assists against Hawaii in that loss on day 1. Then went for a career high 23 points, 5 rebounds. Saw the 2 made threes off the bench in that double overtime win against Murray State on day 2. Second appearance for Charlotte in the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. Went 0-3 in 2018. Also the second appearance on the other side in this tournament for Charleston. They were part of the inaugural field in 2009. Went 1-2 in that first edition of the event. Here's Brzovic. So smooth with that jump hook.
If you want to play him straight up in the post, then go ahead and have a seat and get tickets to the show, because he's going to give you a show. He's going to give you all kinds of stuff. Jump hooks, spin moves. He has got a bag, and most coaches don't want to see it. But right now, they're playing him one-on-one.
Getting loose underneath. We've seen this a couple of times. Kylan Blackman, the beneficiary. Boyd lost it. And then Thomas loses the handle as well, but it stays here at this end out of bounds. Thoughts on the pacing that we're seeing here so far in this first half?
Well, I think the Cougars have a better rhythm offensively right now because they're playing through their big man, and shots and points are easier to come by. I think Charlotte is working very hard for their points, as you see the one-on-one and one, which is just a great one-on-one effort. They've got some weapons, but things aren't coming easy. But good entry pass, and right here, just go up through the arms of the defender, get it on the rim, 3 the hard way.
Tavares picking up that foul, and so Tayshaun Thomas, the lone JUCO transfer on the roster, able to complete the 3-point play. Spent 2 years at Florida Southwestern State, a graduate of Whitney Young High School in Chicago, where he was a 1,000-point scorer.
And that is no small feat. Whitney Young, legendary high school Chicago basketball, turned out tons of stars.
Foul called there on the double team. And they're going to get Nika Mechkladishvili on the foul.
And we saw things a little different on that last possession. As soon as Brzovic touched the ball, he received that double team and tried to dribble his way out of it.
Seven seconds to shoot. What a pass. Boyd able to finish, but that was a dime dropped by Ante Brzovic.
I said it before, when he has the ball in his hands, he's like the quarterback of their offense, and you saw it right there on that play.
The Colonial Athletic Association preseason player of the year. Strong drive by Braswell. Little up and down action here the last sequence. Boyd for 3. That's good.
Boyd made multiple big threes a couple of days ago in the second half to lift them to their win, and there you see that hot hand continuing.
Went for 16 points, was 3 of 6 from out there in the day 2 win against Loyola. Charleston using a 15-5 run late in the second half to go up double digits in that one and ultimately hang on to win. Graves missing from distance. Here is Elijah Jones. And Charleston will get into its stuff. Brzovic this time, the cutter, and he finishes off glass. He's got 12, 6 of 7 from the field.
And you see the discipline right now from the Cougars offensively. They don't run to the ball. Sometimes they run away from the ball. Those backdoor cuts, high percentage shots. I mean, this kind of stuff is basketball 101. It's what you teach your guys. Space the floor. Don't come to the ball. Go away. Look at that dime backdoor in the layup for Boyd. And then right here, ball movement in the corner. Boyd feeling it, knocks it down. And then Burcevic takes his time to go backdoor in traffic with his height on the move. He's tough to stop.
Meanwhile, Tavares called for that last foul at the defensive end. That's his second. And the one-on-one opportunity missed there by Nick Graves. Largest lead of this first half for the Cougars. Another three try by Boyd. And we're going to have a foul. Burcevic had the position there under the glass. Looks like Reber is going to pick up the foul. And that brings Giancarlo Rosado back onto the floor, replacing Reber. And immediately gives up a bucket on the inbound to Burcevic. Burcevic is having his way here in this game.
You guys got caught sleepwalking right there.
Open look from the corner, that's Thomas. And this time a little role reversal as you had Rosado with the position, and it's going to be Burcevic on the rebounding foul.
You know, defensively, you teach man, you, ball. You want to be between yourself, the man, and the ball, but you've also got to have eyes on the ball. And right there, no one paying attention to the inbounder. No pressure on the passer, just too easy of a bucket.
So Burcevic picking up his first, goes to the bench. Rosado at the line, knocks down the free throw. Was a key contributor for FAU's Final Four run in 2023. That was a fun one to witness. Rosado averaged almost 7 points per game. High percentage from the field. Here's Boyd. Got another one to go. He is starting to percolate here.
Boyd falling in love with that side of the floor. Knocking down a couple of threes over there, pushing this lead out to 10. Big possession here for Charlotte. They want to finish strong before half. They don't want this thing to get away from them.
Rosado, the tough fadeaway, gets the friendly bounce.
Difficult shot, defender still there, but gets the good roll. And now if you're the 49ers, you want to play some solid defense. Try to get a stop here.
Fulton was a little long on that three. Good job saving that ball by Thomas. And Nick Graves, the wily move there as Elijah Jones collides with him. Holiday is treating you well here to this point. It is almost noon here in Honolulu, Hawaii. 3:01 left to play in this first half. This is the second of 4 games coming your way. Of course, we will lead up to the championship showdown between Oregon State and Nebraska as Graves unable to hit the free throw out of the break. That three ball by Burcevic, no, but a foul on the rebound will go against Charlotte. This is going to be Rolfe picking it up. It's the 5th team foul against the 49ers. So it will be an inbounds here for the Cougars. One of the stories so far, Nick Graves averaging over 17.5 points per game, coming off the 31-point performance against Murray State on day 2. He's got just 2 points as Burcevic loses it out of bounds. Graves, 2 points to his stat line. A couple of misses from the free throw line. Free ball there, Braswell, no, and Boyd elevating for the rebound. Sends it ahead to Brzovic, who was streaking, and gets the lay-in. Brzovic up to 16 points, 8 of 10 shooting.
And this is the game that they've been waiting on from him in the half court. One-on-one moves, transition, making assists, grabbing boards. You start to see the player that he truly is, and how he's a leader for this team.
Another turnover here for Charlotte. Stonkus, that three just barely grazes the iron. Rosado trying to take Brzovic off the dribble. Up and under move. Strong move, finish not there though.
That was a great move. Ball did everything except go down.
Brzovic finding Stonkus, got caught a little too deep but gets bailed out on the foul. Robert Braswell is going to pick this one up. Charlotte shooting 40% from the field here so far compared to 50 for Charleston. Charleston also has 5 made threes. 5 of 15 from out there compared to 2 of 10 for the 49ers. And Justis Stonkus, 6'6" freshman from Lithuania, to the line. He will turn 18 this week.
Wow. A youngster.
He's a youngin'. Average 11 a game the previous 3 games prior to the Hawaiian Airlines Diamond Head Classic. And for his efforts was named the Colonial Athletic Association Rookie of the Week. Those 1 of 2 there on that trip to the free throw line. Here's Graves. They need him to get going. May have caught Boyd, who reacted as if he got hit in the chops there. And then Brzovic denying access on Rolfe. Smith elevates and draws the whistle. They're going to get Braswell again. That's his second. Free throws coming here for A.J. Smith.
You see the whole Charleston bench up applauding the defensive effort. It was 5-on-4 for a while, because you're right. Boyd had kind of stepped out, took a shot to the face, and they were still able to get the stop and get out in transition in a 4-on-5 situation.
Smith missing from the free throw line, averaging 4 points in this tournament. Had 15 points, was 5 of 13 shooting in his return to the Citadel, where he spent 2 years prior to heading over to Charleston. Those 2 campuses very close to one another, about a mile apart. And so that was a big deal over there in Charleston. And another foul. This one's going to go defensively against Justis Stonkus. So that's the 10th team foul. So 2 shots coming up here for Kylan Blackman. And helping to keep Charlotte just somewhat in the picture here is the fact that Charleston just 2 of 7 from the free throw line.
Yeah, Charleston leaving a lot of money on the table. Those free throws can add up after a while, but if you're Charlotte, you've got to find a way to get some of those easy buckets that you saw early in the opening minutes, those transition threes, the layups. They've gotten away from any of that. It's really been a half-court grind for them offensively.
Yeah, looking a little flat here through some of this first half.
And I think that's where, you know, Nick Graves is going to have to create some of that action for them. They drop back into this 2-3 zone for what they think will probably be the final defensive possession for them.
Boyd goes to the right hand. He hit a couple from outside. There he is doing some damage inside. He's got 10 points.
When all else fails, put it on the deck and make a play. Boyd with a heads-up recognition and gets a bucket, and now Charlotte will play for the last shot of the half.
Largest lead of this first half for Charlotte, or for Charleston, I should say. Charlotte with the shot clock off. We're going to have an offensive foul. It's going to go against Jayshawn Thomas.
It's a tough call because you're trying to create space. Let the ball do the work right there. The ball gets up around the head. The arm gets up around the head and neck area. Easy call. Can't give up a good look here. They're going to go ahead and take a timeout and try to draw something.
Charlotte, Corey.
Don't let them enter the ball in the paint. Keep the ball on the perimeter and switch everything.
Fulton bounce pass. Brzovic beats the buzzer and one. Well, that could not have gone any more according to plan if you're College of Charleston.
Rule number one, don't let the ball enter the paint. Keep your man in front of you. Two things they did not do, and it ends up being a penetration dish and a drop, and we'll take a look to see if he got it off in time.
Well, it looks like he definitely did. They called the foul. I think they're also trying to determine how much time to put back on the clock, and they have decided that they are going to put 1 second.
That is a huge play. I mean, you've got 5 seconds to play solid defense, contest without fouling, and you end up giving up a penetration and an and one. Emotionally, the Cougars get to go in on a high note at halftime. This is the largest lead I believe they've had. Big play. Brzovic with a monster line in the first half, 18 on 9 of 11 shooting.
Yeah, he's at his season average already. And a chance to make it 19 here at the free throw line. And he does. The lead is 15 here for Charleston. And the body language a little less than inspiring right now for Charlotte. Graves from half court, and that's how the first 20 minutes come to a close. So Charleston up 15 points here, 46-31. They shoot 53% from the field, and Ante Brzovic doing Ante Brzovic workout regimen that you've been doing. A much slimmer, may I just expose to the world. Much more svelte Corey Williams here.
It was time.
This holiday season. You saw some of the numbers there for Brzovic. He has had a prolific career and has taken it to another level here in this season. Charlotte controlling here on this first possession of the second half, and now we have bodies hitting the floor. 4 players on the deck at one time. A.J. Smith slowly getting up. Tavares still sitting on the floor. Take a look at all of this. It's a demolition derby there in the paint.
Well, Smith Jr. fell, and as he fell, he landed on some people's feet, and it was just amazing that everybody got up from that and nobody with any serious injuries, so that's good. Because it didn't look great when it first happened.
Yeah, looking like bowling pins there for a hot second, but Charleston will control here 30 seconds into this second half.
And the 49ers got to adjust their mind state. They've got a ton of time. There's an entire half of basketball to play, and you're not going to get this all back in just one play. So you've got to make runs. 2 or 3 good runs will tighten this game up for them.
Good defense that time. Looked like Mechkladishvili may have gotten a piece of that shot attempt by Brzovic. And then Brzovic gets his hand in the passing lane, but it goes out of bounds. How about a guy like Nick Graves? I mean, you don't want to necessarily put the pressure on a guy individually to try to perform. You want it to come in the system, but do they need to see him start making more shot attempts here?
Well, you wonder, what he has left in the tank, and does he try to force the issues now, or does he try to get his teammates involved and get within striking distance where he can take over the game?
Going to be a tie-up call. Possession arrow sends it to the other end. Look there at Aaron Fern. Prior to his time at Charlotte, coached professionally in Australia for 17 years. And ironically, it was the professional game that may have been the best teacher in his preparation for the current college climate, where you're basically dealing now with free agency in the offseason and annual roster turnover.
And also style of play. I mean, the international players have brought that style of play to collegiate basketball over the last 10 years. You've seen the success that a number of coaches have had with international players, and that spacing in the way that they play, whether it's Mark Few at Gonzaga or Randy Bennett at St. Mary's with his Australian connection. But the game has changed, so a professional coach from Australia, it's not a whole lot of adjustments you need to make to play college basketball.
Meanwhile, A.J. Smith picking up his second foul on that last sequence. This is an open look for Reber. Rims out. Charlotte 2 of 12 from outside the property line in this game.
3 empty possessions on offense to start the half. Like I said, it's not do or die just yet, but they want to get some rhythm going offensively. They're getting the stops they need.
Getting some points in transition could help. Braswell lost it on the way up, wanted a foul, no call. And now Tavares left alone and hits.
It's only a matter of time until the Cougars figure things out.
Second made 3 for Tavares. That now gives him 10 made 3s for the tournament. Meskladishvili across the lane, power dribble, couple of pump fakes, and goes smooch off the glass. Meskladishvili spent 3 years at Louisiana Monroe, was a third-team All-Sun Belt selection a couple of seasons ago. Smith for 3, that's good. That's been a difference in this game. Charleston 7 of 18 from distance. Another look here for Reber. We're getting some open, solid looks from the perimeter, just not able to knock it down. Smith in transition is fouled by Braswell, and that's going to be his third.
You're seeing the difference right now. Those missed threes, long rebounds, leading to transitions, and sometimes defensively, your best defense is a made bucket, because that just dictates the tempo of the game and allows you to change your focus mentally. You're making buckets. It's a lot easier to get defensive stops. Right now, Charlotte just not able to connect on a lot of these jump shots.
So A.J. Smith at the line, 6'5" junior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Played 2 years at Combine Academy under current Cougars assistant Jeff McInnes. McInnes, no stranger to the islands. In fact, you rewind all the way to his prep playing days when he was with Oak Hill Academy on a team that also included his would-be North Carolina teammate, Jerry Stackhouse. They came out to the Iolani Classic, which is one of the premier high school basketball events held around this holiday season. They just had their 40th year of the Iolani Classic last week. Turnaround by Graves, unable to find it there. Rolfs the follow. Tavares stepping into a 3, and that's an air ball. And that gets, sometimes that motivation is a little bit hard to tap into, but it seems like the Cougars have shown up and they have been very focused.
No, on day 3, a lot of the games are going to be physical, but the majority of them are going to be, mental, emotional. How are guys feeling? Are they locked in? And you're coaching against picking up bad habits, and you're coaching against mental fatigue at this point.
Left corner 3, this is Blackman. And right now, Charlotte cannot find the range from distance. They are 2 of 14 from behind the arc. Bullet pass underneath, a little too hot to handle even for Darren Boyd. And so it goes the other way.
For the 49ers, the goal is single digits. You've got a good 7 or 8 minutes of game time to try to get this thing to single digits, and then you can try to make a run. But right now, take advantage of these turnovers, these empty possessions, and right here they get a wide open three. Offensive rebound and putback. Finally, Nick Graves shows himself a little offensively here in the second half.
Yeah, he gets his second made field goal of the game. He has 4 points on 2 of 6 shooting. And maybe that will help get him revved up. They're going to need him, you would imagine, to try to get back into this game.
They've got to come with a solution for this right here.
5 seconds to shoot. Boyd hop, skips, jumps his way to the lane, and finishes the deal.
Good inside out right there by Charleston.
That's 30 points in the paint now for Charleston. And Boyd has 12. 3 ball from straight on. Rosado no good. Boyd secures the rebound. Tavares on the run. Draws the contact and the whistle.
Kanoa, Boyd made a 3 before. And you have that in the back of your mind when you close out on him. And then he just blows right by you, gets in the lane, nice little Euro step for the finger roll. And that's a whole lot to deal with. You've got the big man posting up. You've got a 3-point shooter who also is a threat to drive. That's a balanced attack.
Yeah, and you figure Darren Boyd just getting more and more confident. He's coming off of an ACL injury, suffered in early February, returned earlier in the season against FAU. Scored a season-best 22 points against Northern Kentucky on November 27th. And so you're starting to see some of that burst. You're starting to see some of that confidence, and that will only improve with time, you would imagine, as you take a look at the top scorers here for the Cougars. Berzovic, Smith, and Boyd. Tavares also in double figures for Charleston. Layup not there, but a foul is called, and that's going to send Jayshon Thomas to the free throw line. And if you're Charlotte, it's one thing to get back into this game. Obviously, that is the goal. But you're also just trying to maybe build a little bit of momentum leaving the islands, because they're going to be jumping into, like so many of these teams, either back into or jumping into conference play. And they have Tulane on the 31st of December.
A lot of coaches, around the country, I talk to them all the time, go to shoot-arounds, practices, and they talk about, when we play, we put stuff on film, and is it stuff we want to remember or is it stuff we want to forget? That's always the thing. It's like, hey, we went out here, we played 3 games in 4 days. Let's do some good stuff. Let's put some good stuff on film. Let's build. Let's get some guys out there. And it's still a part of the season where the bench can show the staff what they can do. And maybe you come out of a situation like this with some surprises. Maybe there are a few players you can give playing time to that you didn't know about before you came down here.
Graves will try a 3 off the handoff. A good rebound secured by Elijah Jones. And Tavares gets fouled. And Rosado immediately puts up the arm and the finger. Yeah, Charlotte preseason picked 8th in the American. UAB, the preseason favorite. Memphis had that great showing here in the islands over in Lahaina at the Maui Invitational. They were preseason picked 2nd. But Penny Hardaway's team showing signs of being a force to be reckoned with as this season progresses.
No shortage of talent on that Memphis roster.
Rosado off the give and go. For a guy at his size, 6'8", 240 pounds, he can move.
He's got great mobility, but more importantly, he's very clever with the ball. The handling, the passing, definitely not your typical big man.
Foul goes against Berzovic. That's his 3rd. And Rosado hits the free throw. He's 4 or 5 from there. He has 6 points. So Berzovic going to head to the bench. And so that opens up some opportunities perhaps with Ante Brzovic not on the floor for Charlotte to try to cut into this deficit.
You know, it's simple math at this point. You just can't trade baskets. You know, 13 minutes remaining in this game. You've got to put together a significant amount of defensive stops.
Charleston out of the Colonial Athletic Association, preseason pick to finish second. Towson, the favorite going into this year. Here's Boyd open for three. And we're going to have a whistle. And who is this going to go against? It's going to go against Elijah Jones for Charleston. So Jones going over the back there. And so it is Charlotte basketball.
So we see a slight wrinkle. Charlotte goes to a 2-3 zone. They're able to get a stop.
Nick Graves letting it roll into the front court before snatching it up.
Charleston going to a 1-3-1 of their own.
Yeah, this zone look has served Charleston well at different times in the tourney. The spin move freeing up Thomas, that was nice.
Under control, shot clock winding down. Thomas delivers a bucket.
Had 16 points on day one against Hawaii, followed that up with 9 points, 3 boards, and the double overtime win over Murray State. And this is going to be another turnover for Charleston. So again, Brzovic on the bench. You see some signs of life perhaps from the 49ers. It's now Charleston having to weather this stretch here where Brzovic with the 3 fouls is going to be sitting. Adam Comer into the game now, the 6'9" senior from Spartanburg, South Carolina. Under 12 minutes to play. Underneath, couple of passes, and Rosado gets challenged and will go to the free throw line.
Starting to see the 49ers execute a little bit in the half court.
So timeout on the floor. Charlotte